coin, tarnished and weathered but faintly glimmering in the dim light, sat in a dusty stall at the back of an occult market, nestled between cracked vials and candles. Its edges were rough, and though its details were eroded, there remained an impression of antiquity, as if it had traveled through countless hands over centuries. Above the coin, a small handwritten sign read, "Lucky coin, only $5, for fortunes beyond compare." The stall's owner, a hunched man with sunken eyes and a glint of something strange, watched as a middle-aged man approached, cautiously eyeing the various trinkets laid out before him. The customer's eyes settled on the coin, drawn to it by a pull that felt almost magnetic, and as he studied it, the owner leaned forward. The owner told him that the coin was no ordinary charm. It was a conduit for luck, a talisman that brings fortune to those who possess it. The man took the bait eagerly, the skepticism in his eyes fading as he studied the coin's allure. He'd been down on his luck lately, having lost his job and struggling with bills. What harm could a little luck charm do? He took out 5 crumpled dollars, placed them in the stall owner's outstretched hand, and left with the coin tucked tightly in his pocket, feeling a flicker of hope he hadn't felt in months. Over the next few days, however, things began to unravel. Small mishaps first, a stubbed toe here, a misplaced set of keys there. Then he lost his wallet in a taxi, his car broke down on his way to a promising interview, and an unexpected bill arrived, draining his last bit of savings. These annoyances would normally breed frustration, but instead, each one somehow filled him with a strange confidence. He felt certain that his luck would turn around at any moment. After all, he had the coin. The man clung to it with increasing desperation. "This is just a patch of bad luck," he assured himself. He rubbed the coin between his fingers as he walked, almost compulsively now, convinced that the coin's blessing just needed time to take effect. He ignored the mounting signs, the creeping sense of dread gnawing at the back of his mind, and instead focused solely on the notion that his fortune was bound to change. When he lost his apartment due to a missed rent payment, an oversight he swore was due to misplaced checks and mixed-up dates, he shrugged it off, chalking it up to coincidence. He clung tighter to the coin, determined to weather the storm. Luck can be tricky, he told himself as he found himself staying in a cheap motel, the one-night stand, surrounded by uncertainty. He placed the coin under his pillow each night, its weight pressing into his dreams, filling his sleep with whispered assurances of future success. He had lost everything, but at least he still had his lucky coin.
"Daniel!"
He grimaced, covering his head with the pillow, hoping whoever it was would give up and leave. But her voice continued, heartfelt and unyielding, drifting up from the parking lot.
"You are a cool guy. You have helped a lot of people already in amazing ways. I have never met someone like you. We are going to find a solution somehow. Don't beat yourself too much."
The man groaned in exasperation. Now he couldn't even get some peace to sleep with ruffians making noise outside his door. It didn't matter. He caressed his lucky coin. At least he still had it. He was about to shout back, maybe even hurl his pillow against the door, when a sharp, ear-splitting roar filled the air. A sudden blast engulfed his room. In the blinding flash and deafening crash, his world erupted. His vision blurred, and he felt himself thrown backward as everything faded. His last thoughts dissolved into the explosion, a bitter fragment of his anger lingering in the smoke. The motel was reduced to rubble in an instant, a fiery blast echoing through the neighborhood, sending onlookers into a frenzy. Firefighters arrived swiftly, dousing the flames and scouring the wreckage for any signs of life. As they combed through the debris, one firefighter knelt beside a charred beam and noticed something odd glinting beneath the ash. A coin, weathered but miraculously intact. With a curious smile, he reached down and held it up, examining its strange, ancient design. The coin was warm from the blast, yet there was something about it that drew him in. With a wry grin crossing his face as he pocketed the coin, he said,
"This must be my lucky day."